Summer's gone, the clouds have grown. Can't believe I'm on my own. Winter came and went today. Yesterday's a day too late. Somewhere over the bridge I lost my way. Can't keep telling the fib that I'm okay. Beggars bow down at my grave. There's nothing more a song can save. Angel, meet me in the air. Save for me a space up there, or somewhere over the bridge I lost my way. Can't keep telling the fib that I'm okay. Everything's fine, I promise I'm well. Everything's great, can't you tell? Somewhere over the bridge I lost my way. I can't keep telling the fib that I'm okay. But how do I get you to see? Trust me, and trust me, and trust me.
Dominic Breen, how cool of you to drop by my humble abode. Do you like my record collection?
It's impeccable.
Oh, thank you very much.
I will pull some of them off soon.
Well, I promise you that your EP Lay Low is in there somewhere,
yeah.
because I've loved it.
Yeah.
It's your first recording?
Yeah, it's the first thing I've put out properly. I mean, I've done a lot of recordings, but that's the first one I thought to pull off the shelf.
Ah, so what came about? How come it was time to put the record out there? What happened?
I don't know, like, I think there was just people were slightly interested, and friends wanted to see me do something with these songs. So, yeah, take them off my shelf and put them onto yours.
Yeah. What had been happening before that? Were you gigging around and?
Yeah, I was playing like music in other bands, drums and guitar for others and other bands of my own. But yeah, I just think, I don't know, it just was time to do my own thing, I guess.
It's funny, isn't it, when you're playing with other people all the time, you're probably getting really itchy to
Yeah, it's a bit
want
like
my own
that.
stuff out there.
Although it is quite a luxury, especially playing the drums, just sitting up the back and you're invisible and you know, you're sitting down. It's quite nice.
So how do you feel now being at the front? How does that feel for you?
It's good. It's great. Like it's just inflates the ego. Yeah.
So you're originally from Sydney's Northern Beaches, which I feel
Yeah.
like is a really musical area. You know, I
Yeah,
think of like
yeah.
people like Angus and Julia Stone
Yeah.
coming from up there. I mean, was
Yeah.
it influential for you?
I think so. I mean, I don't really think I musically represent the area so much. It feels like I haven't been there for a long time, but like it was certainly the high school I went to. There was a lot of music. Their dad, Angus and Julia's dad, was my teacher.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and he was a great, or still is, like really, you know, backs you if you're into it, and you know, gets you playing little gigs all the time. You know, and he's a straight shooter too, so yeah, he's a good man. I think people like that, you know, help you decide or encourage you to keep moving.
Yeah.
And try it out.
Did you always know you wanted to be a musician?
Oh, not really. Like when I was a little kid, I wanted to be like a rugby league commentator, I think, for a while. Like I'd annoy my dad and mute the telly and commentate over the top because I knew all the players' names.
Yeah.
So, and try to do my best, Rabs Warren, but yeah, I can't do that anymore.
Well, music has
Yeah.
taken you down a different path,
Yeah,
hasn't it?
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sure I'll pay homage to the great commentators one day.
That
in a
would be
song.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
you could maybe, you know, do your own commentating
Yeah.
then on the
Yeah.
song, get that out of
Yeah.
your system.
Yeah.
That's the way to do
Yeah.
it, man. That's the way
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah, something like that would be good.
So, look, your style is actually quite classic, you know. I think when I listen
thank
to
you.
you, I do immediately
Yes.
think of people like Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
And there aren't a lot of people out there doing that as much anymore, I
Yeah.
feel.
Well, I think I've just started using the harmonicas, you know, the past 2 weeks, and I think immediately you get that likening. That, yeah, which is, you know, that's the nature of the beast. If you play something and it's iconic for someone else, you're going to sound like that person a little bit, I think. You know, but yeah,
But
thanks for thinking
vocally
it's
as
classic.
well. I think
Oh, yeah.
vocally you actually
Yeah.
have a bit of a
Oh yeah,
a
well,
Bob Dylan
I've got
vibe.
a proud nose, and the air comes out of that mostly. So,
It works for a lot of singers. It
Yeah,
is a very
yeah.
cool thing.
well, thanks. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, that's great. That's great that you've got a natural sound like that. It does. Your voice is very unique and distinctive. I mean,
Oh.
was there a stage in your life when you realised that?
Well, I don't know. It's just my voice, really. So, it's I can't, you know, trill and all that. I wouldn't even dare go on a show like X Factor or something like that. I don't know. I think you know, the songs just need to be sung that way. I don't know. They sound like that. So, you know, and that's the best I can do. So,
Tell me a bit about your songs then. So the ones that you chose to put on the EP, for example.
Well, they were just the ones that I liked at the time when I was compiling it. Yeah, and they were sounding good. Lay Low and Sydney Kids I recorded, re-recorded. They were demos, and I did them with Wayne Connolly. But yeah, basically they were just, you know, sitting around, and I liked those ones, and yeah, I could have chosen others, but I think there's not so much a sonic continuity in that EP to me, but there is like a sentiment. It's kind of subliminal, but there's something there that unifies them to me a little bit. So yeah.
And it was interesting that when you launched Lay Low and you have this incredible video with
Yeah.
Richard Roxburgh in it, that people
Yeah.
know from Rake.
Yeah.
I got the real sense that you were maybe trying to say something about maybe mental health issues. Is that correct? Would I be right in thinking?
Yeah, I guess you would be. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't elaborate any more on that?
Well, I mean, it's just so straightforward, that song, and I feel like lots of people elaborate on things like that, and I just feel like, you know, if you can't get the message, I don't want to have to spell it out, you know. It's like people do these paintings and then there's like a A4, you know, thing next to it describing it, and I feel like art's sort of, that might gild the lily a little bit, and I think, you know, you're just meant to enjoy it or not.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and maybe find out what I'm saying, but I think the way people interpret things, it's up to them, you know. If I was to describe what songs mean to me, I think that's not necessarily what the song is. Like, it's what it means to that person or something.
Yeah, a lot of artists talk about when they write the song, and then once they put it out there, it kind of belongs to everybody then. It's not really theirs anymore.
Yeah,
I suppose.
absolutely. It's, you know, we sort of transmit them, like, they could go to anyone, sort of. I know that's quite romantic, but that's sort of the way I see it sometimes. So we have a responsibility to put them out, in a sense, and then, you know, transmit them to someone else, and then they in turn receive something from that and maybe do something with it, like, and just, you know, keep it going.
It'd be nice to think your music has that can affect people, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it'd
a
be
thing.
nice. I
It's the
mean,
goal.
I'm just hypothesizing here. I don't know if anyone's really that affected, but
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
No doubt. We were all affected listening to you at that gig when you
Oh, yeah.
launched Lay Low, which was fantastic.
yeah, thanks for coming.
That was fantastic. Tell me, we were also really lucky at the right now to get a couple of new songs from you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, I think they're new for everyone, including me.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd like to play those.
Can you
Yeah.
tell me a bit about them? One's called Somewhere Over the Bridge.
Somewhere Over the Bridge, yeah. It's kind of like, well, maybe it's about the Northern Beaches, or I don't know what side of the bridge it's talking about, but it's the Harbour Bridge in my mind.
Yeah.
I love that bridge. It's
Me too.
It's so amazing, even though, you know, I've driven over it so many times. I just don't think something like that would even get built today with all the sort
Possibly
of,
not.
like, bureaucracy. I think, you know, they just argue about it for 15 years, 20, I don't know, and then finally do something.
That's very true.
Yeah.
It seems to take an awful long time to get anything built,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, it's, I don't know, it's sort of about, it's about everything, yeah. It's about the past, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
You sound like you've had some interesting things happen to you in the past. I did read somewhere that you'd suffered some concussions.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
How did
yeah.
that happen?
That happened from skateboarding and hitting my head on the road. It
Oh,
happened
wow.
from playing footy. And then I was told to not play contact sport anymore. So I started
gosh.
playing golf at
Right.
school. And then I got hit in the head by a golf ball.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And
Sorry,
it got
I
me
shouldn't
right. No,
laugh.
it got me right here. No, it was, look, it's
That's terrible.
it's great, you know.
Well, it's unlucky. It's a little bit unlucky. But maybe it's
Yeah.
the universe saying you need to be a
Yeah.
musician and not in sports.
Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, look, I didn't have the talent to be in sports, and it's questionable whether or not I should be in music. But to me, you know,
I think you should be in music.
thanks. Well, yeah. So I got hit in the head, and then, you know, it's sort of, you know, I had to not go to school for a little while and
Wow.
and not really do fun stuff.
So what did you do when you didn't go to school?
I just looked at the ceiling. I don't know.
Did you listen to music?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And how do you think that affected you? Do you think that your creativity kind of came from that?
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I think maybe it did, but it's also that happened when I was like 15 or 16. So that's adolescence, you know, and you start feeling a lot more and, you know, getting a little bit more introspective and thoughtful anyway, so.
Well, I'm very grateful if it brought you to music
Yeah.
because I'm glad to have your
Yeah,
music in
yeah.
my life. So
Yeah,
that's a
well,
positive.
Thanks, yeah.
So you've got 2 new songs that you played for us today.
Yeah.
What's your next kind of goal? What do you hope to achieve? Because you've got an EP out there.
Yeah, well, we've recorded basically another EP. It's nearly done. I'd like to put that out you know, as soon as possible. They're sounding really nice, you know, to me. I enjoy listening to them. I think, you know, you got to enjoy listening to your own music.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously, you know, don't chew on it too much. Forget what it tastes like. But it's good. Like, I put them out, and, you know, just keep putting out all these songs would be a nice thing to do.
So I guess you want to be a musician for the rest of your life? Is that the goal? You've given up on the commentating?
Yeah, it'd be nice. Like, you know, I still love, you know, gardening and things like that. I'm a cleaner now, but I think music's just a bit more enriching than those two, perhaps.
But you like to juggle a few things at the same time, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, please keep writing music.
Thank you.
And come back on our show sometime.
I'd love to.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks.
You're sick in bed and you're tired of your imagination. Don't worry, baby. Don't rattle around. And when you wanna stand up, stand out in a city that makes you sit well. Don't worry, baby. Don't suck on it. There's always something else, but don't worry. How were we ever meant to know? Don't worry. How were we ever meant to know? When you're down the road and you don't quite know what you're running away from, don't worry, baby, just follow your nose. There's